Takeout is a film directed by Sean Baker and Shih-CHing Su. This one captures the American dream in the eyes of a legal Chinese immigrant trying to survive on the streets of New York post 9/11. So this one is a little bit different because it's co-directed, but this film is very interesting. To be honest, it's very cinema verite, you know, a lot of handheld stuff, a lot of gritty filming inside of a Chinese restaurant, filming people outside of apartment buildings, inside like the doors. We're following Ming Ding. He is illegal immigrant who had to pay a loan shark to get into America, and he owes them and pays them, but he hasn't paid for 2 installments, so they roll him basically in his little hovel of a place. He's sort of living with like 6 or 7 other people in a crappy roach infested place, and they tell him he's got to raise up $800 by the end of the day or his debt will be doubled, because it's really draconian interest, and of course, you know, he can't go to the police, he'll get deported for sure. So he borrows most of it. He needs to make about $150 by the end of the day. So he ends up doing a lot of deliveries at the takeaway that he works at. He won't tell his employers or his co-workers, but he borrows $150 from another co-worker who's kind of lazy. And most of this film is just him riding a bike in rain, delivering Chinese food to people who barely give him coins or a dollar. So he's got to raise up as much money as he physically can. And you get to see like what it's like to be a delivery person. Obviously, this movie could be made now. Right now we'd have Uber and like Uber delivery and DoorDash, and he would be cut out. But this was back in the day, and you get an odd assortment of people who don't tip, people who tip well, people who are chatty. So there's that really gritty sort of interaction. But also, I think the main takeaway from this movie is that our main character is not perfect. He's not an everyman. In fact, Ming Ding has a bit of an ego. He has a lot of pride for someone who's living in squalor, living in America legally and trying to make money before getting beat up by loan sharks. He refuses to ask for help, or he refuses to ask for handouts. He refuses to let anyone in, and he sort of brunts the entire force of the burden by himself. He's unwilling to, you know, just ask for help. And I think that's probably the biggest, you know, hurdle of the film. Something happens near the end, and he still refuses to ask for help until something else happens. And also, there's a really great sequence in which his coworker, who's kind of lazy and doesn't want to do the deliveries with him, tells him that he should smile and offer a little bit of customer service. He might get more tips, but he refuses to do so because he's not in the mood. He doesn't want to play around. He wants to focus and just grind, and he won't play the social game. So I really enjoyed that part of the film. Our main character isn't just some guy just trying to like do stuff, but he's also like stubborn in certain ways, even though he shouldn't be. And I think that rounds up and elevates the film just a little bit more than just your usual, we're watching a blue-collar worker just do stuff. And of course, you might say, oh, it's unrealistic or whatever, but no, I think that gives the movie a little bit more heft than usual. If this was just a 90-minute documentary of a guy doing deliveries and having a rough time, then it's just like whatever. But adding in those little nuances, such as, you know, it makes sense though. If you've ever met a homeless person who asks you for something like money or food, and then you offer them food or something that you have, and they go, "No, I don't want that. Like I refuse to eat that. I don't like that thing," or "I don't want the burger because it's got pickles on it," or something. It's like that. You know, just because people aren't rich doesn't mean they can't be picky or stubborn or have flaws. And I really like that aspect of the film. So Takeout's a really intriguing sort of look at Americana in that time frame. I'm pretty sure that the Chinese restaurant stuff was filmed by the Asian director, and then Sean Baker did all the delivery stuff. So overall, Takeout's a really interesting little mix of you know, blue collar look at life and the American dream, and the hardship that certain people face, even if it's not realistic or whatever, or it's stuck in time. Still really intriguing. So I give Takeout a 7 out of 10.